So Excel is an analytics tool because it is used by analysts, which you are one. And so this is Excel 365 online and it's a paid version. There are other several Excel that you do have, but Office 365, I've been using this for over more than 5 years now, thereabout, and I can tell you for free that it's more better and it helps you to learn things faster. And basically, you have the online Excel and we have the desktop Excel. I'm currently in the Excel online, not free, but paid version. There's a free version, but in the free version, you may not have access to every other thing, features, and all other important formulas, functions, and all other things that you can quickly do um, quickly in the Excel 365. So, like I said, this is Excel 365. Want to look at Excel? We've not actually looked at Excel in the course of this class. So, first things first. Normally, when we are looking at various things that we are doing, most often than not, we can open any sheet and do whatever we want to do on it. I can open, like, I have a sheet 2. If I like, I can move it here. I can create a new sheet and move the sheet 1 here. I can replace this, move it all along. I can rename the sheet and all that. But another thing I want us to know is that in Excel, there are about 17 billion cells in a single sheet in Excel. And remember, in Excel, we have what is called the workbook, we have what is called the rows, we have what is called the column, and we have row and rows. We have column and columns. So right now, I want to show us how that we can prove that we have about 17 billion cells in a single sheet in Excel. So you write equal to row and you tab and you hold down your control to the last place in Excel, to the last cell. And when you have that, you just close the brackets and hit enter, and you have this. Then you say column two. Like I said, we have rows and we have column. So say equal to column, not columns. Column and what? You hold down your control to the end of that column and you also close your bracket and you hit enter. So if you have these two, what I have to do now is to multiply my row by my column. And when I do that and I hit enter, and that should give me about 17 billion cells in a single sheet in Excel. So you can see that I have 17 billion cells in a single sheet in Excel. So we have a lot of things that we can do. Like I said, this is a paid version. So I can come to Copilot. And what is a Copilot? A Copilot is the Excel and Microsoft's AI, artificial intelligence, that help you to do a lot of things while you are in Excel. And you can't see this symbol of Copilot on your own computer, most importantly, if you are not using Office 365. So, and at times you might even see it in some version, maybe 2021, but at times when you don't have a paid license or a paid version, this might not be possible. You can still also avail yourself several opportunity to still use Excel online because there's a free version. You have um, the right to access to few, features which are Office 365. And example of such access that you might have is to go to Hardings and see those things that you can quickly use. For example, in Excel, you can create a QR code, to help you, seamlessly to achieve a lot of purpose. Maybe you're working at your office and they needed a QR code to be generated. You can do that in your Office 365. Okay, and so a lot of things to achieve when it comes to Excel. You could create a form, and you could achieve a whole lot could be done while you are in Excel. And so the another thing that we want to quickly achieve is to see that I have a raw data set here, and I want to quickly do something. So I want to quickly use um, some text functions. We call them text functions. Text functions in Excel. Text functions. So under the text function, we have what is called trim. We have what is called trim. So what does a trim does? A trim makes ensure that your data sets are spaces are removed from a string between words and all that. And what do I have to do? And note that in Excel, whatever you want to do, you want to write a text function, you want to write a formula, you want to you want to do some calculation, you want to do some analysis, the equal to sign is a very important thing that you must know how to accomplish. So I'll just say trim. What am I trimming? I can just click on this first name, which is JNet, and I close that bracket and I hit enter. So it tells me that that everything in terms of, remember when I was writing trim, it tells us that it helps us remove spaces. So I can also do for others by by also including um the other names on column A. So I have A2, which is where I have JNet, to A6. I can just say A2 to A6. And I do what? You can see it has highlighted the whole thing, enter. So automatically, what does it do? It gives me what I requested for, you know. So another thing I can do again, aside from using trim, is to use what is called proper. So there's what is called proper is a text function too. I just come here and I say equal to proper. And what does it do? Convert a text string to a proper case. So I'll just come here and what hit on this, and I say what from A2 to to A6. Instead of typing, I can just highlight the first one and drag down. That's a simple way to achieve that. And I will say what, and I'll also do that. And also, it has helped me to put it in a proper case, you know. So if I come here and add another name, it will not do the text function for trim and proper because I already have define what I wanted to do. Okay, and you can see that in the income column and also in the age column, I'm having a question mark here, I'm having invalid. So another way that I can quickly achieve, if I want to remove the invalid, is to just create a filter. And how do I create a filter? Is to highlight everything I have here. And here you see that I have a filter, and I'll just say filter. Okay. So immediately I create a filter, I can just come here and I can uncheck the invalid. I can check the invalid there and I will say apply. So immediately I do that, it disappears. I can also come under age here and I uncheck the question mark and I apply. What does it happen? It also it disappears. So it depends on what you're trying to do most times. And I can also come here and do what is called sorting. I can say I want to sort in ascending. I can say I want to sort in descending order. Do you understand? So that's also very, very, very important most times, and it's what helps us to understand more things that we do in Excel. So now, if I come under formulas and I come under the text, you can see I have a lot of text functions. I have a lot of them here, a lot of them, you know, text functions I can use and all that. You can see the trim that we just applied, remove all spaces from a text string except for single spaces between words. We still have text join, text before, text after, which still going to look at later. Look at the proper. the proper that I used earlier on. So just a quick thing that we are looking at this morning is the fact that when we are in Microsoft Office 365 and you can see clearly, haven't looked at the previous video on Google Sheets. This is Microsoft Excel, and they are very, very, very different. I mean, they have different ways of looking at things. So, for example, maybe I want to focus, I want to format a particular cell, I want to format I want to use a conditional formatting, you know, I want to say, okay, give me numbers that is greater than this and color that particular number. I can always come here and just going to give me what I request for. For example, let me say, okay, that I want to highlight the cell rules for greater than. I'll just click on greater than, and it's asking for which column. I can just change this to, okay, I can leave it this way uh, for better analysis. Then I will just come here and I will click on this. Now click on this. It's now saying input the cell, input value or select a cell. So what I will just do, I can just say, okay, is this particular cell I want, you know. So you're saying I can't do that because I can just only what apply only one cell rule. So I can come here and say cell value. So is it the cell value I want or is it a specific text that I want that to happen to? Then greater than, I can still change this to less than. I can use anyone that I want and I will still achieve my purpose. I can equally use greater than or equal to. So basically, it's telling us that along the way, you must ensure. Then it's also saying that, oh, what do I want to apply? Do I want to apply a data bar? Do I want to use a color scale? Do I want to use an icon set and all that? So it depends on um, the the value I want to. If I say, okay, I want from C1 to C6, for example, you know, I have defined what I actually want, in terms of the say, and if I click done, nothing will actually happen. You know why? Because I didn't actually define everything I wanted. You know, I didn't say, okay, oh, I want so value greater than so value. So I just said equal to C1 to 6. That's why it gave me that particular value. So I can come back here and I say, okay, now input a value or select a cell. So I can just say that what I want, maybe a value greater than maybe 5,000, a value greater. So what it's going to do is to look into this income cell, you know, and say, oh, okay, if that's what you want, then this is how to achieve that. And that's why if you look at down below, it said format cell in a specific range based on rules you create. So you're the one that is creating the rule and no one else. So that's why it's bringing that. That's why it's saying input value or select a cell. So if I just come here, like I've selected or select another cell, so it's going to assume that what I'm saying is that I want to look at the value of income, which is 150,000. And that's what it's saying. So that's how we achieve conditional formatting when we actually are in what? In Excel. So you can just come here and just say, and if you are not satisfied with that rule, you can just come here and say what? Clear rules from selected cells, clear rules from entire sheets, whichever you want. You can see I've cleared it. So basically, that's what we do when it comes to Microsoft Excel. So after now, I'm going to give us a raw data set that we are going to use to also give me the same thing when we have text function, when we have the trim, the proper, and also I can give us other data set that may have something like invalid. You can always use your filter, or at the end of the day, you can also ensure that you clean up your data to see to ensure that it is in the right frame of things, because before you analyze any data, you must ensure that that data is actually cleaned, and that can only be achieved